Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. On today's program, we welcome the Wollaston Garden Club. They're getting ready for their annual Holiday Greens sale coming up later on this week. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful out there. Lots of sunshine, just a few puffy clouds, 51 degrees right now. That's about as warm as it'll get today, kind of brisk as well with that wind. Temperatures dropped this evening under clear skies to around freezing, about 32 or so. The rest of the week is much cooler, but it stays dry. Sun and clouds tomorrow, highs only in the upper 30s. A little more sunshine on Wednesday, still chilly with the high around 40. And then turning milder again on Thursday. Lots of sunshine, highs Thursday in the mid, maybe even the upper 40s. Again, we have sunshine and 51 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking news for you today. Quincy City Council is reviewing a proposal that would create special zoning districts around the Quincy Adams and the North Quincy MBTA stations that would allow for more multifamily housing in order to comply with a state law. At least 10,000 additional units of housing would have to be built in order to bring Quincy in line with the state mandates. Ward 4 City Councilor James Devine says officials are working to protect residential neighborhoods from overdevelopment while still trying to meet the state guidelines.
We need to control it and make sure it doesn't affect our neighborhoods. So I've been working with the planning department all summer. We're carving out areas, like basically just drawing lines around certain neighborhoods that we don't want to see change at all. And we're going to try and give them more commercial areas, industrial, like Crown Colony, areas like that. Maybe along the railroad, Federal Ave, the tree companies and things like that.
Sure, yep.
Give them those types of areas, but we're trying to carve out, like if you took Liberty up to Southwest, that whole area we're trying to keep safe. So we're going to try and not give that to the overlay.
So Devine says if the city fails to meet the state guidelines, it would lose state funding. The proposed new transit-oriented development districts have been placed into the ordinance committee of the city council for further review. A Quincy man who is called an armed level 3 career criminal is now facing new charges of gun possession and drug trafficking. 55-year-old Jared Blount was apprehended outside his Water Street home just before 5 a.m. last Tuesday. The Quincy Police Drug Control Unit executed a search warrant and seized 2 handguns and an AR-15 style rifle, a large capacity loaded magazine, some crack cocaine, and amphetamine pills. Blount was arraigned on drug trafficking and illegal weapons possession charges in Quincy District Court. 2 Quincy police officers were promoted recently. Sergeant Donald Greenwood was promoted to lieutenant, and Officer Michael Delaney was promoted to sergeant. City Clerk Nicole Crispo administered the oath of office to both officers as Chief Mark Kennedy, Mayor Thomas Koch, and the families and friends of the officers all looked on during the ceremony that was held last Tuesday in the Great Hall at Quincy City Hall. There were 2 bicyclist fatalities in Quincy in September, and the group Quinn Cycles is trying to bring more awareness to the community about bicycle safety. 86-year-old Lee Dane Wu of Quincy was struck and killed while riding his bike in Roxy's parking lot on September 8th. A ghost bike now sits in the traffic island along McGrath Highway near that scene. Quinn Cycles President Irene Lutz says the memorial is a visual reminder for everyone to use caution while bike riding and driving.
It was the first fatality for a bicyclist in Quincy since Quinn Cycles started nearly 12 years ago. So we're at the end of our 11th year. And it was a shock to our community, and we wanted to do something to recognize him, to give back to the family and comfort them if we could, and to create a ghost bike is one way that a bicycling community can do that.
On September 26th, 63-year-old Guang Hu Go of Quincy was also struck and killed by a FedEx truck while riding his bike on Hancock Street and Albion Road in North Quincy. In both cases, the drivers did remain on the scene, and both incidents are still under investigation by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. Former principal planner in the Quincy Planning and Community Development Department, Elizabeth Manning, has been honored by her colleagues in the field. Manning recently received the Paul Poulos Award during the National Community Development Association's annual Fall Conference held at Polar Park in Worcester. Manning was praised for her extensive work on areas including Quincy's Climate Resiliency Plan, 2 commercial revitalization projects, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant, and the USDA Farm to School grant. Manning also received a commendation from Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch. Manning retired from her Quincy position in 2021, currently works part-time as the Community Preservation Manager in Braintree. Well, the Performing Arts Wing at North Quincy High School is now called the Richard Keneally Performing Arts Wing. A dedication ceremony was held recently, naming that section of the school in memory of the longtime Quincy Public Schools band director and music teacher. Keneally's daughters, Jessica and Jennifer, unveiled the plaque honoring their father. The ceremony included performances by the North Quincy High School Choir and the Quincy North Quincy Wind Ensemble.
I had the idea of naming the band room after my father because he had spent a good part of his life in these halls. As a student and a teacher here for 30 years, during my father's time as a student, he was a key member of the high school band, and it was there where his love of music and talent blossomed. The same 4 walls in which he would later make his career, giving back to the community that once raised him and changing lives of generations of students. You've heard many times today that my father made the band room a haven for creativity and encouragement. From the start, he created an atmosphere where band students and non-band students alike could feel like they belonged.
A former student of Keneally's, Andrew Mariello from the North Quincy class of 1998, also spoke about the positive impact Keneally had on his life. Keneally died in 2020 of complications from COVID-19. There's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we sit down with the folks from the Wollaston Garden Club and learn about their holiday greens sale coming up. That's next. Welcome back. You know, here in Quincy, we have the tree lighting ceremonies, we have the Santa helicopter, we have the parade, but then we have the Wollaston Garden Club's annual holiday green sale, and that's when you really know the holiday season is kicked off. So Kathy Kerbels and Ann Forsman are back with us to tell us all about the sale coming up this coming Saturday. Nice to see you both, ladies.
Nice to see you, too.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for having us. Yes. All of a sudden, it's the holidays.
I know, right? You have transformed our little studio here into a winter wonderland. It looks gorgeous.
These are just a couple of examples of things that we will have at the sale. Lots of table containers, that's what we call them.
Nice.
I think this guy, can he go outside? Or no?
He could go on a protected porch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with
Well,
his little felt hat.
Talk about those in a little bit, but Kathy, let's talk about the club. For folks who
Yes.
don't know, even though you've been around quite a long time now.
Oh, over 90 years,
Yeah,
the
so,
club has
you
been
know.
meeting at the Wollaston Congregational Church
Yep.
in their social hall, which is huge, and that's where we'll have the sale this year, as every year. And we have over 120 members now.
Super.
So we were really happy that during COVID, we didn't lose members. In fact, we ended up gaining members. So that was really amazing to us. But you know, there's so many varieties of peoples and members in our club. All different talents. You know, people will say to me, "Oh, I can't be in the garden club. I don't have a green thumb." I'm like, maybe you don't have a green thumb for something, but maybe you can find out that you do have a green thumb for flower arranging or something like that, you know. So there's all variety of things that go into our version of a garden club.
Well, as we were talking earlier this morning, you don't need a green thumb or a lot of experience. You can be a complete novice.
No, you don't actually even have to be a citizen of Quincy.
Right.
Actually, I mean, we're not exclusive at all. We're inclusive. Sorry, But yeah, we just enjoy meeting new people. We say, you're not sure? Come as a guest.
Right.
Come. We try to put our meetings every month in the Quincy Sun so that people will know that there is something going on and that they can come and just check us out.
So monthly meetings?
Monthly meetings
Okay.
from September to May.
Okay. All right. So you're in the midst of it now.
We are deep in the midst of it now, yes. I mean, we've already been collecting greens, Ann and I and our crew. Go around to neighborhood families in their yards, and they let us collect and trim their greens, and we try to get a variety. And then we have wreaths that we buy.
Yes.
We have, over 85 wreaths that come plain,
Okay.
and then our decorators descend on the social
Oh,
hall,
okay.
and they spend Thursday and Friday really gussying them up.
Yep.
I mean, really, each wreath is so individual, it's so different, So, and then we sell them, and they're gone like that.
Well, I find that, don't you think a wreath is kind of universal, even if folks don't put up tree or they don't do lights or anything else? A wreath on a door, is kind of universal.
Right, right. It's
Because it can
seasonal.
last through the whole. It's not just for Christmas, right?
No.
It can last right through
Exactly.
the winter,
Right.
if you do it right. yeah.
Exactly.
So this year we've got some examples, Anne, of some neat things.
Yeah, let's see
Ann's
what-
handiwork at work,
Well,
actually.
yeah. My handiwork this time, but there's such a committee of people that
That's true.
will be actually putting these things together,
Yep.
and let's see what we can show you.
Okay.
This guy's just a small table arrangement done. We do lots of things in different colors. We try not to have everything be red and green.
Yeah.
So you'd see a variety of things. And then my favorite, one of our members donated her children's toys that she found.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this one.
Yeah, I
but it's
think I
actually
see
a
that.
Tonka truck.
It's an
so
authentic
it is an
metal-
actual
metal
Tonka truck.
Tonka truck.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so when
Official.
you're through with it after Christmas, you can let your grandkids play with it.
No.
Oh, you think
You put that up on the shelf and
You think
keep
that's
it,
an antique
keep it
now?
pristine. Yes.
So anyway, but I did put these together for our talk today. But we'll be sure that the greens that are in there for Saturday are fresh if need be.
So these
Yes.
are real. These are
These are great.
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
this is.
This is,
Kathy told you we've been trimming trees
Yes.
already.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
so there's Oasis in there. That's what will keep it.
Not that you couldn't use
Fresh.
permanent botanicals.
Okay.
However,
No,
the
no.
things that you're going to purchase at our sale on Saturday will in fact be fresh greens.
Okay, good to know. Good to
As
know.
is Frosty's decor.
Yeah, let's talk about this your handiwork here.
Yeah,
Move him out here
I'm
so the
a
camera can
big
get a good
fan of
close look at him.
upcycling,
Uh-huh.
and when we had one of Kathy's neighbors tossing out some newel posts from her porch,
Yeah.
we decided to upcycle them. So here we go.
Okay.
And it should be pretty sturdy. Kathy, if you lift that up, you'll see
Oh.
it's on a support, so
Okay.
it shouldn't go too far.
Yep.
So, go back to what you were saying, Kathy, is if you don't feel you're inclined to garden, maybe your carpentry skills could come in.
You know, I
Yes.
can absolutely,
You know?
and we honestly we have one of our president really is a huge gardener, but she's so organized and she writes the press releases
Yeah.
and the emails and helps get the speakers and introduces
You
people.
need that too, right?
And
Yeah.
oh my God, we need every talent.
Yes.
We have people that can that provide food for our meetings and just love to hear the speakers. So I mean, everybody can work to their strength.
Right, you put together an annual calendar or a booklet that you
We
brought.
actually
Yeah, so you
have
need
an-
photography
yes,
skills,
yes.
right? You
We-
need writing
we-
skills. Yeah.
And we have
Publishing skills.
all our meetings are mentioned in here and what's going to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe somebody doesn't really particularly care about gardening with dahlias, which I didn't. But she was very informative. I still am not going to put any dahlias in my yard because they're very fussy.
Well, it's good to
But
know your weaknesses
but
and your yard.
I love that, that we were exposed to that, so every month there's somebody coming and talking to us about something that we may or may not have an interest in,
Mm-hmm.
but we will always find it fascinating. And, like I say, 120 members. That's, yes. What? Sorry.
Our club also is a member of the Massachusetts Federation of Garden Clubs and the National Garden Club Association. And along with that comes the opportunity to take advantage of coursework. So
Offered by the bigger
offered by
yeah,
the
definitely.
state.
Okay.
And we get in addition to our own book, we get a communication monthly from the Mayflower, and also just in advance. We offer, and as a member of our club, if you decide to take one of these courses, we'll reimburse you half of your tuition.
Oh.
So we encourage our members to get themselves trained, whether it's environmental studies school, whether it's landscape design school, flower judging school. I mean, there's a little bit of something for everybody,
Sure.
in addition to workshops and meetings that other clubs are holding.
Right.
So you get quite a bit of information and knowledge.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the actual sale itself. It's this coming Saturday, right?
Yes.
December 2nd.
Yes, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yes, we usually have a line out on the street, sidewalk, waiting for 9 o'clock because people realize.
Don't
that-
wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come early for best selection is so true.
Okay.
So it's only 9 to 11. Like I mentioned before, the social hall will be filled to the brim with everything. Christmas wreaths, we have swags. Our members just every year come up with something different. They may make something out of pine cones that's just too adorable to pass up. Teacher gifts, something, a hostess gift.
It's a great hostess gift.
Yeah,
These
so-
would be especially,
yes.
I think.
But-
yeah.
And we also have some smaller items too that are,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
going to do some Christmas tea mugs and things
Oh.
like that were very popular last year. So
perfect for a teacher gift, perfect for a housewarming gift, something small.
Yes.
You don't have to break the bank over.
Right, exactly.
And we also sell bags of greens. So
Oh, okay.
if you're the person who just you don't want to go trudge out, but you want to buy some fresh cut greens and
Variety,
you know,
too.
a variety
the
of
work
things.
for them, basically.
We have done the work for them,
Yeah.
and we encourage them to.
go home and do their flower boxes
your own
or a
stuff.
container or their mantle or whatever,
Right,
so there's a variety of
Because you've had
greens.
permission to cut the greens.
Well, that's it.
They shouldn't just go to somebody's yard and cut the greens.
Absolutely not. We are.
Like one of our members this year had to cut down some beautiful blue spruce because the neighbor wanted to put up a fence. So she and her discussed that they would wait until we could harvest it
all
at the
right.
appropriate time, and then they would put up their fence. And that was really nice. And that's beautiful
Yeah,
There you go.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That
This little
just,
blue
there's
spruce.
so many different colors in that one container right there, different greens, so we really need and want to have variety.
Sure.
And then the extras will be in those bags.
Okay.
And we sell them out every year.
So let's talk a little bit about what the funds raised at the green sale are used for.
Okay, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Yes.
So we offer scholarships. We
Yes.
offer high school student scholarships, Quincy High, North Quincy High, and also Norfolk Agricultural School, to any student going on, and we've upped our amount of our scholarships.
That's great.
So so they're not just getting $25. I mean, they're getting a decent chunk of change from us. In addition, it pays for our speakers. Again, our community is invited to our speakers meetings from September to May, except for the December
one.
meeting,
We
which
just
is
have a
just a
members,
members
yeah.
only.
Okay.
Yeah.
We pay for tuitions for educational coursework. Just like not.
And then we have our Safford Park. We have a corner at Safford Park that we maintain. We have the corner down at Newport and Beale, which is very, very, as anybody will know, busy area.
Slightly highly trafficked.
Yeah, very
Yes,
busy.
but there's a lot of walkers, and we keep that area up, and so many people are so nice to just stop and say thank you.
Yeah.
So,
looks
yeah,
nice.
That's
Of
great.
the civic
Yeah.
beautification projects, some are labeled and some are not. Like
Oh, I
the
see.
Wollaston Library planters, there's no sign there, but it's our members that
yours.
do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're very proud of our efforts around the city.
Yeah, well, it really does add to the quality of life, especially at that Newport and Beale, it's
Yes.
so highly industrialized. I mean, you've got
Yes.
train tracks, you got the train
Yes.
station, you
Yes.
got 4-lane roadways. There's not a lot of green around there.
No,
so, yeah.
there weren't. You know, and the members 25 years ago, plus probably plus now, that actually started that as a project, really will tell you that there was nothing there except weeds. And you know, over time, you know, we'll plant something and we'll hope it grows,
Right.
but it's a very tough area,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
But we really maintain it well. We keep the trash from accumulating.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
You know, and that brings down your mood to see something like that as you walk by to go to work on the train or something, you know. So.
Yeah, but it's value added to the community. It helps.
I totally
it helps the
agree.
DPW, I'm sure. You know, with their job.
They like us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very helpful to us, really. Yeah, they helped us put together Safford Park when that came available.
Nice.
So yeah, it's nice to have a city, or live in a city that appreciates what
Green
people
space.
see as they walk by. You know, so I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the other events that the Wallaston Garden Club has throughout the year, and some of the other.
Well,
You know,
for our
attractions.
spring, yes,
Yeah.
we come back and speak to you in the spring when everything's growing
Yes.
and we plant things up, and we have our spring plant sale, and those are all perennials from our gardens that we divide. And this year, Ann and I decided that we would try to divide. There are some plants that don't come out early enough for us to divide in the spring, but are very, very wonderful perennials. So this year, while they were still on the ground and we could see where they were,
Right.
this year
And
we put
know
a
what
crew
they were.
together and we dug them up and repotted them, and now we're wintering them over with high hopes that they will survive whatever winter we're going to have,
Okay.
and we'll be ready for the spring sale. So
Okay.
that's exciting. We did over, I think, 200 plus plants.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's another big fundraiser for us, but it's also a big community thing, another place where people just wait in line and, you know, want to know when we're having it and what we're going to sell, and do you have this? Are you selling that?
Well, and that
You know?
sale particularly, it's great because they're local. These are
Yes.
local
Yes,
pieces, so
yes.
they're almost
that are already
guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yes, and that's the hard thing about sometimes in a garden center. They have come from another part of
That's
the
right,
country,
yeah.
maybe, and maybe they'll adapt. And maybe they won't. So you're always taking a chance when you're gardening. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
You know, you give it the best you
It's
can.
trial and error.
It's very much trial and error.
What is the growing zone? I know there are zones throughout the country.
You
Do you
know
know?
what? It's changing.
Has it changed?
It's really, yeah,
Yeah.
it has.
We're between 6B and 7A.
Okay.
But it also, this is the other thing.
Yeah.
In your yard,
Ah.
you're going to have microclimates.
Sure.
So you're going to have a shady spot. You're going to have a windy area.
Yeah.
If you're near the ocean, you know, you're going to have.
True.
So it really varies, even within a short geographical distance.
Okay.
Even within my own yard, like I told you,
Yes. Yeah.
I have a shady area, which I didn't realize when I first bought the property,
Yeah.
but now I do. And so there are a lot of beautiful shade plants that you can put in a shade garden that will lighten it up
Yeah.
and brighten it up. You
Plus,
know?
conditions change over the years, right?
They
I mean,
absolutely do. Your neighbor
trees
cuts down a
grow,
tree.
or
All of a sudden,
trees get
you've
cut
got
down.
sun that you've never had before.
Exactly,
Yes,
yeah,
it's-
so that changes the whole climate, yeah.
That's gardening.
It's trial and error, right?
Exactly.
One thing I want to be sure I mention
Yeah.
about our plant sale is toward the end of the sale, because we don't do it at the beginning because we are a fundraiser,
Right.
but we invite the public schools and the libraries to come and help themselves to
Really?
items that have not sold. So if you see the
Montclair.
Montclair
that's the
School,
one.
they have lovely,
Yes, they do a
lovely
lovely
raised
job.
beds. Oh my God, they go crazy. The Wollaston School, we had 7 different schools and libraries come that we donate plants
Wow.
to. And we've added this, Kathy and I, we've added a donation of plants to the park department.
Oh, okay.
If, with the stipulation they give us back those empty pots.
Okay.
We do like to
We upcycle
recycle
those.
whenever we can. Yes, exactly. Yes, but yes, we want every plant that we have for sale
to find a home.
Right, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody to love it.
Yeah.
There is a place for it, right?
There is,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, exactly.
It's
You
a
know,
big
and when
city,
you
yeah.
go to a sale like that, especially ours, there's a lot of people with that you can just say, "Oh, I have this spot," and they'll say, "Okay," and they'll walk you around and show you different
Yes.
options, and you know, and that's really helpful. You don't always get that when you're trying to put together something new.
Right, and in this modern age, pictures are helpful too, right? To
Oh,
bring-
we do.
Yeah,
we do a lot
we
of
try.
pictures. Yes, yes.
And so this is, again, working to our strength
Yep.
and what's good for, so we have master gardeners who help out at that plant sale, not to be confused with the very talented and professional indoor designers that are going to be working for this week's
Okay.
sale.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's like, it might be similar people, but it's a whole other use of talent.
Sure. Yeah. Kathy, you were telling me that more men are taking an interest in the garden
Yes,
club.
we have
Yeah.
at least 4 or 5 new gentlemen that have joined the club, and not just to come with their wives
Right.
or girlfriends. They
Right.
they actually want to find out more about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I will say, membership is $30 for the year, so it really is
pretty cost effective.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is one of those things where if you have, come to a guest as a guest and you think, hey, I'd like to come again.
Sure.
Well, join as a member for a year and see how you
Okay.
like it.
Right.
And that happens a lot. And somebody will mention to their girlfriend, hey, I was, oh, well, maybe I'll come. And that's how we've ended up
Word of
increasing
mouth.
our membership, because people that are already there find something interesting and find something agreeable,
Yep.
so.
Or come to the Holiday Green Sale on Saturday
Green Sale.
from 9 to 11 at the Wollaston
9
Congregational
to 11,
Church.
come early
Get
for
there
best
early.
selection, for sure.
Thank you both.
Thank
you,
you, Joe.
Joe.
Really appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Gorgeous to get out in the garden, actually. Lots of sunshine and a high in the low 50s this afternoon, down to the lower 30s this evening under clear skies. Sets us up for a sunny but a chilly week ahead, with daytime highs only in the upper 30s, nighttime lows in the mid-20s. It'll warm up again on Thursday, maybe some rain here on Friday. Thanks again to Kathy Curvels and Ann Forsman for joining us from the Wollaston Garden Club. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching Friday here in the show. Rick Doan will stop by from Interfaith Social Services. Meantime, head to our website, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.